we're all in the same room at the same time in the same place.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. And let's get into this funny, crazy story time about how this Bumble date I went on ended up being a little crazy, a little awkward, even a little funny. um, let's jump right into it. So I was on Bumble. I met this guy. We ended up going on a date or whatever. And we went to this really nice restaurant. I wore a beautiful dress and some beautiful heels. And we sat down at the restaurant and we ended up getting a decent table. I didn't realize, and he didn't realize either, because this was my first time at the restaurant. We didn't realize it was so small. So we was like talking about how small it was and how we thought it was really small, and we kind of laughed about that. We were joking. We were having a great time. This was a great date, guys. Until I was scanning the room, because that's what I do. I like looking at the room and stuff, and I realized the restaurant was by the water. I was like, ooh, I wish we had a seat by the water, because we didn't have a seat by the water. We had a seat close to the piano. So there was live piano music, and that was like beautiful. That was nice, but we was closer to like the bar and the piano. And I'm scanning the room, and to my surprise, I see somebody catch my attention. The only reason why they caught my attention is because they were making a bit, well, not really a scene, but like they were staring at me. So it caught my attention that my old Bumble date was also in the room with me and my new Bumble date. So it got awkward because I guess he seen me before I seen him, and he was with his friends, and he brought it to his friends' attention that I was there as well, or whatever. I don't know what was said or whatever, but I know for a fact that they turned around and they looked at me, and it was like, it wasn't even like they were they weren't really hiding it. But I found it funny because I kind of didn't notice him at first because the lights are dim. It's a romantic setting. So I didn't notice him. And then I realized, I was like, oh. Like, that's the old Bumble guy. The old thing, the old date. So I'm in my head, I'm laughing, but like I'm not laughing in my head like I'm laughing out in real life. So I laugh a little bit, I chuckle. And my date's sitting next to me, and he's like, what is it? What is it? And I'm just like, nothing. Nothing. And he's just like, no, now you gotta tell me now. I wanna laugh too, blah, blah, blah. You gotta tell me. So, like the person I am, I tell him that the other Bumble guy is in the room and he's sitting with his friends, and I tell him where they're sitting, and like he kind of looks over. I don't tell him, but he could tell, like he could tell that they were staring. He could tell because they kept on looking at me periodically throughout the night. So I told him, yeah, my this old Bumble date is in the room, or he's with us. He's in the room, and yeah, like he's here. He's like present. He's here, and he pointed me out to his friends and blah blah blah. And I kind of told him like the short version of what ended up happening. Like I just ended up unmatching him, and I don't think he knows yet. So I think he ended up finding out that night. that I unmatched him. And because I'm pretty sure he realized, because after he noticed me, um he was sitting on his phone for about 20-30 minutes scrolling through it, and looking down, like, and he didn't look too happy. He didn't look too pleased. I could tell that once he realized me, and after a while of looking through his phone, he realized his mood changed. The mood changed. It was it looked a little sad, a little upset, a little disappointed. And so we're sitting there and we kind of laugh about it. We talk about it. And then that's it. It's brief. I don't really talk about him for like 30 minutes or whatever. There's not really much to talk about. I just want to keep it brief and say, hey, he's in the room. He's pointing at me. I'm a little bit of the center of attention right now for him. And like, yeah. So we move forward. And like, we're on our dinner date and we're eating. We're having a good time. We're talking. We're having a good conversation. We're laughing. We're everything. Even the awkward silences aren't awkward silences. But then we get halfway through our meal. He ends up bringing him up again on the date. And he ends up talking about, he ends up talking about him more than I wanted to talk about him that night. And the date went from like great Bumble date to like bad Bumble date. Okay? Like, it went from great to like awkward to like, I just want to go home type of date. So what ended up happening was he brought him up again or whatever. And I kind of noticed that halfway, like, no, not halfway, I'd say towards the end of the date, he was kind of like focused on him. Like, he would like watch him or look at him. And I guess it made him a little uncomfortable that he was staring at me or whatever. So I guess he was like kind of staring. It was just weird. Like, it just got really weird. And I could tell he was like focused on him and he started analyzing him. And then of course some random woman came in. So the old Bumble guy started talking to that random woman and all that stuff. And then he started pointing out the fact that he's putting the moves or he's macking it up with another woman. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, nobody cares. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm here on a date with you. Like, and so maybe he was feeling a little insecure about the situation. Maybe he was just insecure in general. I don't know. I don't get it. That was weird. But I was pretty much done. I was over with the date by then. I was like, listen, I need to go home. This date was supposed to be like fun. It's not really fun anymore because now you're bringing him up way more than you should have, Maybe I should have never brought it up in the first place, but I didn't think anything of it. And I'm thinking, normally it's just fun, it's for giggles, we talk, we just address the weirdness or awkwardness in the room and then we move forward. But like, some people just, some people I guess are not like that. So I was just like, you know what, it's time to go home, cut this day short, I want to go home. So we ended up towards the end of the day, we ended up wrapping it up or whatever. I ran to the bathroom real quick. And I almost ended up leaving my phone in the restaurant because I was trying to go home. Like, when I tell you I was over this date at that point, I was pretty over it. I mean, it was just like, how you go from like attention on me to like attention on him? Like, and now you're like analyzing him and everything that he's doing, you're like analyzing it and everything. And now you seem like you're a little like, oh, well, he's talking to some other chick. Like, that's crazy. That's weird. Like, and then he was pointing out the fact that like, it's crazy how he's talking to a chick that wasn't even there before. So he made up this assumption that like, oh, I think he might have called up another girl to make you jealous. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, so you can't make somebody jealous that's not jealous. Like, So I was just like, he was making up these assumptions and he was like bringing him up more than like he was supposed to. And I'm just like, are you jealous? Like, what the heck? So it was weird. And it was just like, he was with an older woman anyways. And it was just like, why does it matter? It's just like, I don't know. I didn't get it with him. I mean, I didn't see the chick's face, but it was just like, it was definitely an older woman, way older than me, probably like way older than me. So it's just like, I don't know, like I didn't really get it. It didn't really make sense. So the date kind of just went downhill from there because he was just too focused. Like when I came back from the bathroom, the dude was like sitting there like looking back at him and the girl talking and all his friends together and how they're having a conversation, and he was just like over analyzing them too much for me. I was like, it's time to go. Like it just got weird like real quick. And this was like towards the end of the date. Like mind you, I told him like when we kind of sat down and we got comfortable. So the fact that most of the date was fine and then towards the end of the date he just started like talking about them and like, he's and then telling me just putting all these assumptions in my head and telling me like he's, and then it's just like, I came here to go on a date with you. I unmatched him. He knows that. He's salty. He's doing his thing with this other girl. Great, good. Kudos to him. Hopefully he scores tonight. Who knows? Just, I don't care. Like, I don't care. So anyways, lo and behold, I'm home, and guess what I do? I unmatch him. I had to unmatch him. I unmatched him like as soon as I didn't even hit the door. I didn't even turn the key to my door before I unmatched him. Like I was just done. I was like, okay, definitely can't go on another date with him. That was weird. That was awkward. I didn't really understand that. The ride home was cool though. He wasn't talking about him anymore. I think the whole situation might have made him a little uncomfortable, I guess. I don't know, but he still like, he should have just said that. He should have just, he should have just said that instead of like focusing on him the whole entire night. But I don't get it. Anyway, so that was my crazy Bumble date. It was more weird than crazy, but like it got crazy. The crazy part about it for me was the fact that the old Bumble guy was sitting there. That's what made it crazy. What made it weird was the fact that the new Bumble guy that I was actually on a date with was focusing on him too much. But anyways, that's my crazy, weird, and also funny story. I laugh at it a little bit, but it's more weird than anything. Like, and it's crazy that they were both in the same place at the same time, and I also was. So it was just like, oops. You know what's crazy though? That's also happened to me before. So that's happened to me before where like I was in a room with a guy that I was actually on Bumble. I was on a date with. I wouldn't say Bumble, but I was on a date with, and then this guy that I was talking to on Bumble, and then I unmatched him. So we never really met in person, but like I knew it was him because, you know, I seen his pictures. So something similar like that happened to me before, but it's just like, it's just crazy. Like, I gotta share this story. Like, this story's, oof. Anywho, so thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, subscribing. Please do not forget to hit that notification bell. And also do not forget to follow me on Instagram or follow my Poshmark or purchase from me on Poshmark. And thank you guys for supporting me and loving me. And I guess I'll see you guys in my next one.